In another world, a raggedy child rides a horse to a large and vibrant city. The child barges into the Adventurers Guild, asking for help. The child's village has been attacked by a black viper, and a crowd of adventurers are in dismay, worried for the people in the village, but no one steps forward to help him. The front desk girl, Miss Helen, asks if the child is sure that it was a black viper. The boy's name is Kai, and he's unwavering, assuring that it was a black viper, the black viper able to eat a person whole. The girl is unable to accept his quest. The young man is confused, pointing to the sack of money he has from the village, willing to work the rest off as still not enough. But the woman informs him that no one in the guild is strong enough to accept the mission. All the adventurers strong enough that could defeat the Black Viper are currently away. The adventurers are ashamed after hearing his request, bowing their heads, looking down or away. The woman names off a number of possibilities, but by the time help would arrive, it would already be several days, plus the travel time to go to the village. Kai cries, pleading for someone to help him, having felt like he failed his village. Just then, a girl named Yuna in a black bear suit introduces herself. Yuna asks Helen how far the village is from Cremonia, being willing to accept the quest. Helen explains it's about a day and a half by horseback. The front desk girl wants her to reconsider this though, explaining that black vipers can grow up to 50 meters long and eat men whole. Yuna is nonchalant, reminding her that there's people in danger here, with also adding that she's never seen a black viper before. The young boy is enraged, not able to take this girl very seriously, given her outfit. Yuna internalizes that she does look lame for an adventurer, so she offers to scout the area for the high-ranking members, with both the boy and the desk girl unable to argue this. But secretly, Yuna plans to fight the Black Viper, but doesn't feel the need for them to worry about the details. Outside, the boy wants to accompany her, with Yuna reminding him that he's going to get in the way, but he assures her that he can guide her back to the village a lot faster. Yuna agrees to this, but warns him not to get in her way or complain. Yuna looks at her UI system and summons Kumayuru and Kumayu, riding the two bears back to his village. On the way there, Kai apologizes for doubting her skill. Yuna admires the children of this world, being so strong at a young age. When the two arrive to the village, the boy is causing a loud commotion, worried about the people of the town. Yuna tries to calm them down, using her radar to see the people are actually still alive, but just inside their homes. Kai returns home to see his mother is still greatly sick, and informs his father about his journey. His father is happy to see him, but is confused about who the strangely dressed woman is. Kai informs him that the guild sent her here to scout out the area. The father internalizes the situation, gauging that she's not an actual top-ranked adventurer, and that help won't arrive until much later on. The man goes into hysteria, asking what she actually plans to accomplish here, banging the table, saying there's no way she can do anything. Yuna tells him that's up to her to decide. When he looks into her eyes, he sees how serious she looks, and he briefly tells her that the snake pops out under the ground, swallowing any movement that it feels. Others have tried to escape in the past, using the bridge, with them never making it there. Kai was extremely lucky to make it back both times. Yuna thanks him for the information. Before leaving, she tells them if she loses, to use her as a distraction to escape. Hearing her selflessness, the two of them cry. Yuna is able to jump a great distance to the outskirts of the village, then using her bear vision to see the snake underground. Yuna tells the snake it's getting evicted, using fire and then ice attacks, following it with a bear punch. The snake has a thick skin and can deflect physical and magical attacks. Yuna deducts that she'll have to attack it from the inside, with the snake opening its mouth to only using its instincts, pushing away. Next, she has to use her magical ground pillars to attack it, but is able to open up its mouth. With her bear fire magic, she's able to overload its belly, with her now storing the viper in her pouch for material. On the way back, Kai meets her, hoping to use himself as a shield so she can escape. She notices that the kids here prepared to sacrifice their lives for anyone. Yuna defeated the viper, showing it off to the villagers so they can feel safe, with the villagers crying tears of joy, celebrating the girl's safety and honoring the ones that have died. Children crowd her, intrigued by the lady. Kai's father comes to apologize to her for doubting her skill. The next morning, the girl wakes up enthusiastically, eating eggs, but they're not able to find any eggs in Cremonia. The village chief is willing to offer her some krummakooks, which are chickens. Yuna is drooling at the mouth with the idea of having more of them. Miss Bear leaves, with Kai inspired to be an adventurer like her. At the guild hall, she arrives with a crowd of people waiting for her. The guild master has come to take the villagers' request personally, but the girl informs him that she's already defeated it, with the guild master not believing her, with her willingness to show off the guild that she completed the quest, nicknaming her the Bloody Bear. Yuna is a 15-year-old girl who enjoys playing with the world's first VRMMO, having earned billions of yen in stock trading. Yuna doesn't go to school anymore. She lives alone, having her grandpa sign the lease for her apartment, with them wanting her to visit them more. Her parents are aloof, on vacation all year, only calling when they need more money. She's confined herself to her room, to only playing video games. Yuna recalls how this new journey started, playing a new game, being the first VRMMO RPG called World Fantasy Online, being the most immersive game to date. Yuna was hooked instantly, spending all her time playing it. One day the administrator gave her a gift for her in-game playing time. She picks a chest, receiving a special bonus, that being the bear suit, with it being equipped with attack, defense, speed, and stamina boost based on the user's level, with top tier physical and magical resistance, with even HP 5 and MP 5 recovery. The suit had every stat a player would want, being so overpowered she could take on any threat, but Yuna finds it very embarrassing to wear, never wanting to wear it in public. The NPC wants her to fill out a survey before she plays the game, with Yuna not eager to do so. The NPC asked her a series of questions. Does she like World Fantasy Online more than the real world? Does she treasure anything or anyone in the real world? But Yuna rather play online video games than be in real life, not being close to anyone, not having friends or really relatives she likes, treasuring money just because she needs it, not believing in any religion or God, but trusting herself. Yuna completes the survey, with a flash of light taking her to another world. She wakes up with the bear suit on, completely confused. When Yuna goes to change into some other gear, she notices that she's a level 1 character. Yuna's freaking out, panicking about all the stuff that she lost, but they're unable to log out or contact the administrators. Yuna then receives a message from God, telling her she's going to be living in this world from now on, hoping that she might fall in love with the world. Yuna thinks it's just an event, until suddenly, a wolf attacks her. She defends herself with a stick. After defeating it, she thinks that she has the legendary Cypherus stick, jokingly of course. Next she hears a young girl screaming for help. When Yuna arrives, the girl's about to be eaten by the wolf, so she picks up a rock and throws it at it, with the rock doing a tremendous amount of damage. Yuna wonders if this is a normal girl or an NPC. The little girl thinks that she's a talking bear, and that she wants to eat her. She takes her cap off so the girl wouldn't be afraid of her anymore. The young girl's name is Fina. The girl tells her she was out here looking for herbs for her sick mother, this being because her family is rather low on money. When they're about to leave, Fina wonders why isn't she going to harvest the wolf, insisting it's a waste of food if she doesn't do so. Yuna watches the little girl dissect the monster, which makes Yuna unsteady, finding it very disgusting. The young lady checks her UI to see her level go up, and to see that she's gained some more skills. The white bear U has a dimensional storage unit, able to put any non-living thing inside. Fina takes her to the nearby city of Cremonia. Just when the guard of Cremonia is asking her about what she's wearing, he also mentions the toll price of the city. God then transfers over the money equivalent from her past world to this one, so she can now pay the toll price. In the Adventurers Guild, Fina's uncle, Gintz, who's not related by blood, asked her about if she went to the forest again, yelling at the girl for going again when he already told her that he would get the herbs. He then gives Yuna a reward for the harvest. Yuna tries to pay Fina half the harvesting price, that being 2 gold coins, but the child won't accept it, seeing that that's way too much money for it. Yuna asks if she can give her a tour to make up the difference. With her still refusing, Gintz looks at the proposition and recommends that Fina do as the bear says, and to stay by her. Fina takes Yuna around the city, with everyone staring at Yuna, seeing her as a real bear. At dinner, Fina is nervous about eating, this being because she wants to save the meal for her family. Having never had such an extravagant meal, the pair leaves, and Yuna checks into an inn, with the front desk girl finding her very cute. Yuna comes to terms with her being isekai'd, but this not being a game avatar, but her real self. Realizing none of the people here are NPCs, but real people, she finds it weird, but blissfully unconcerned by it. Yuna wakes up with even more abilities. She can now use her bear senses to sense the nearby creatures in the area. She starts to access her abilities, having super fast reflexes and speed, also having a wind cutter ability, and she can now use magic as she can imagine it, added in with her bear magic. The downside is, all her OP abilities are tied into this bear suit, so outside of the bear suit, she's not very strong, with her able to take off the bear suit, but being as weak as she would be in the real world. When Yuna arrives back at Cremonia, Fina spots her, assuming that she's an adventurer, with the girl confirming that she isn't. Fina then tells her the perks about being an adventurer, which is having a free pass around the entire country, with Fina learning all these things from Gintz, having to pick up a lot of odd jobs at a very young age. Yuna the next morning comes to the guild, where a large crowd gathers, some finding her very cute, others finding her terrifying, and others just finding her very weird. When she goes to register with Helen, an older adventurer comes in to intimidate the girl, having done the same thing to a lot of adventurers, when they first arrived. Yuna nonchalantly asks if she can defeat a goblin. Would that be acceptable? The man tells her she wouldn't be able to defeat a single goblin. Yuna asks Helen if she defeats this goblin here, will she be accepted, making a joke that the man is a goblin or a hobgoblin. The man is furious, demanding that they settle it outside. Yuna is unmoved, making more jokes about the man, defeating him with a single bear punch. Yuna fills out the form, with her job class being a bear, making both her and Helen very confused. The adventurer scaling is very similar to that of games, with weaker monsters like goblins and wolves for low-ranking adventurers. Yuna spends the day taking out wolves, with a total of 40, astonishing the guild. Gin sees this and makes his way to the front, asking her why didn't she harvest any of them. With him asking to let the trade guild cover the harvest for her, Gins talks to her in private, tell her the situation with Fina, with her father passing away very early on, and having a very sick mother, takes on a lot of odd jobs to get money for her sister and her mother. Yuna makes the mistake that Gins is interested in Fina, finding it very gross, but Gins reassures her that he's into her mother, Yuna realizing that he's into MILFs. Gins makes a request of her, asking her to pair up with Fina, assuring that she's a very hard worker. Yuna agrees. She then goes to take on another quest, taking on a tiger wolf. Yuna stares at Helen, wanting to know if it's more of a tiger or a wolf. Very curious, she subdues it by putting it underwater, not wanting to damage the code. Realizing that it's more of a tiger than a wolf, well, one tiger wolf gets past her, attacking Fina, who's out again in the forest harvesting herbs for her mother. After defeating it, Yuna scolds the girl about doing this again, saying this isn't an excuse to be careless. She finds it strange how this kid is willing to work herself to the bone like it's nothing, but they're asking to pair with her. So this is where we're gonna leave off in today's video. If you liked the video, here's another one just like it, so go check it out. I'll be breaking down this anime into multiple parts, and why not subscribe? I'll be uploading daily videos just like this one, so see you next time.